Finally got some live sports, and, well, that was fun. The first night of the NFL Draft didn't offer many big surprises, but a couple. One of them involved the Kansas City Chiefs. Welcome to SportsBeat KC, the Kansas City Star's daily sports podcast. It's Friday, April 24th, and I'm Blair Kerkhoff. Today we're talking Chiefs first-round draft pick LSU running back Clyde Edwards-Helaire. To say we were expecting the Chiefs to take a running back with the number 32 overall pick is, well, let's just say star columnist Sam Mellinger and I addressed the topic of the Chiefs taking a running back right off the bat in our Zoom chat that started moments before the selection was made. And now I'd like to say we were on top of this, predicting the Chiefs would take a running back, but you'll hear from our conversation we were anything but on top of it. After a break, you'll hear what reporters who cover the Chiefs had to say late last night, a video conference with Chiefs general manager Brett Veach, and a few minutes with the selection, Clyde Edwards-Helaire. But first, here's the conversation Sam and I had a few minutes before the Chiefs made the pick and our reaction to the selection. Sam, earlier, Vahe and I, and you were part of a discussion about running backs just aren't popular. Players taking that position is not popular in the first round of the draft much anymore. I really don't see the Chiefs going there. You don't see running back here, do you?
No, they get better. You know what I mean? Like, they are just, we've been saying this for weeks. Like, they did such a good job with this offseason, putting themselves in a position where they don't have to draft a certain position. I think they'd get better at running back, but the way I look at it, they're going to score 1 million points next year, no matter who their running back is. I think there's a lot of defensive backs. Antoine Winfield Jr. is the one that keeps popping out at me, but there's a lot of guys. McKinney, the kid from Alabama. There's a lot of ways that they could go on this.
Yeah, I think safety, an athletic safety, a safety with a little bit of motor, a little bit of speed, and if it's between those two, McKinney and Winfield's got a little bit better speed. Doesn't have the classic height, but I can see favoring Winfield over McKinney. There's Brett Veach and Andy Reid on the screen. I see where Andy went with a dark Hawaiian shirt tonight. Nice call for Andy Reid.
Right, that was an easy decision. The easy decision was like what to wear. The hard one was which of the 47 that he has in his closet.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, the other thing I like about Winfield is just the versatility, and I know McKinney can do different things too, but I just like that it's just like Winfield's, he may even just be a slot guy, you know what I mean? But he can do both those things. Again, I think I said this earlier when I came on your fine Facebook program here, but he seems like a little bit better version of Kendall Fuller.
Yeah, for sure. Also not selected so far is a Wisconsin linebacker named
Zach Baum.
Zach Baum, thank you very much. Who was the choice of Herbie Teope not once but twice in the Chiefs mock draft over the last couple of weeks. I think that second time is just for emphasis. I said, no, I really mean it this time.
Right, that's a statement. Yeah, no, he's great too. I mean, there was just like a little brief, like kind of 45-second period here. Was like, is Patrick Queen, is that really gonna happen? Like, and there probably wasn't any way he was getting past 28. But Bond can do some of the same thing. You know, he's got some range, he's got some speed, he's got some athleticism. Whenever he gets picked, they're going to say immediately that he was a high school quarterback and got moved outside. But like he's, that's what I keep coming back to. There's been years where like the Chiefs have to take offensive line, they have to take defensive line, whatever. They're just in a really good spot now. They can go wherever they need.
That's not video poker on Andy's screen, is it?
It's like a lot of inputs or something on there.
Yeah, there you go. Okay. And the other thing too, if we're looking at linebacker here, the one area where they were vulnerable, kind of consistently last year, was covering the running back out of the backfield.
Totally. Yep.
That's a need that can be addressed with this pick. So the pick is in. Oh, what is this jersey? Very nice.
I'm all in on Roger tonight. I think he's been great.
Here we go. Drum roll, please.
Oh, wow.
Oh, they went running
back, and not the guy that I thought. I thought DeAndre Swift was a better fit.
Clyde Edwards-Helaire from LSU. Wow,
he's a good player. This does surprise me. He's a good player, but I thought Swift was the if they're going to go that position. I thought Swift has, he's a really good fit too. He's shifty, good out of the backfield. But
I like Jonathan Taylor a little bit. I was just a little concerned that he was worn out in college. He was over 2,000 yards twice at Wisconsin.
Yeah.
But how about that? Not only the position we didn't think, but the player we didn't think at that position.
Right. We're all over this one. He is tough. I mean, if you watch any of these LSU games, Burrow kind of steals the show, right? But he is tough, and he can do a lot. He doesn't wow you with speed or anything, but he can catch the ball. He can break tackles. Not afraid of contact. Can run inside and outside. I mean, he's got some skills. There's no doubt about it.
Here's my breakdown of Clyde Edwards-Helaire from Baton Rouge, 5'7", 207, runs a 4.6 40, all SEC in 2019, 1,450 yards, 16 touchdowns. That offense was ridiculous.
Yeah.
How about this? 55 receptions, is a kick returner. This stood out to me. Excellent ball security. That's something that is something very important to Andy Reid.
Yeah.
36% of his carries went for first downs or touchdowns in 2019.
That's pretty good. I mean, the question would be, right, like how much of that is him, how much of that is the offense, not just the quarterback, but the line and everything around it. But this is a good highlight package. This is a good, kind of illustration of what he can do, because it's you look at him, and he's I don't know what they list him at. He's short. I mean, he's 5'7", 5'8", yeah. But he's good between the tackles, which you don't always expect from a little guy like that. But he's good between the tackles of again, just with toughness, can break through some guys. But he's also got some shift. Like once he gets past the defensive line and gets to the linebackers, he can break those tackles too, or miss those tackles too, I should say.
Another LSU running back for the Chiefs.
That's right. They do love them some LSU.
Had a run on him for a while. So yeah, I'm a little surprised by that. So
yeah. I mean, look again, the getting Bashaud Breeland back, it did take some of the need off corner, but I think about down the road and what you're going to need in 21, 22, and it just seems like it would be a good time to get a young corner, maybe with some versatility to play safety too. But what the hell? I didn't draft a Super Bowl winning team.
That's right. All right, Sam. I know you got a column to write.
Yeah.
Appreciate it, man.
See you, Blair.
Hey, it's Blair. We have a special subscription offer for SportsBeat KC listeners, unlimited digital access to the Kansas City Star's award-winning sports coverage. Sign up now for 1 year of Sports Pass for access to all the sports news, features, and columns presented on the kansascity.com site, and it's only $30. That's a 40% savings off our regular rate. Your subscription will automatically renew after the initial term at $50 unless you tell us to cancel. Your subscription helps support the sports coverage of kansascity.com and the Kansas City Star, and that support has never been more important. Please visit kansascity.com/SportsBeatKC offer to get this special offer. And as always, thanks for listening.
Appreciate you guys for staying up and hopping on the Zoom chat here. Certainly, we're excited to welcome Clyde Edwards-Helaire to the Chiefs Kingdom. I think certainly our scouting staff did a great job. I had the chance for the last really 2 weeks to kind of work through a pocket of players that we thought might be there, and it was funny because about 4 or 5 days ago, I talked to Coach and I said we're getting a bunch of teams calling to see if we want to trade up. So I don't know if they just knew that we were super aggressive, or that was kind of the mindset of the teams kind of just looking to get out. But once Green Bay moved up, to draft the quarterback, which made sense to get that fifth-year option, the phones kind of went silent, and we were totally fine with that because we were super excited, to to stay true to our board and draft what we feel is just a unique player and a unique talent. And then you throw him in with this offense. It's going to be really exciting. So with that little brief intro, I'll turn it over and let you guys ask some questions.
Adam, go ahead.
Hey, Brett, how you doing?
Good, Adam. How you doing?
Good, thanks. What do you like about Edwards-Helaire as opposed to, say, DeAndre Swift, Jonathan Taylor? Can you sort of say what made him stand out among those other two? And was it not a difficult separation for you?
Well, yeah, I mean, those guys, all three of those guys are really good players. The kid, just his interior running ability, the vision and the instincts are rare and unique. I mean, the guy has the ability to kind of play the game in slow motion, lateral agility, vision, his ability to start and stop and redirect his hands out of the backfield. Some of those guys you mentioned, they have all, some guys have the one trait, some guy has the other trait. We felt like he kind of had all those traits. About 3 or 4 weeks ago, when we were kind of just working through the wave of this process, once we get to a point, I kind of give Coach a couple guys to take a peek on. And I told Coach, I said, wait do you finish up your work on Clyde Edwards-Helaire? He's going to remind you of Brian Westbrook. And Coach called me back. He said, he's better than Brian. So, and that's no slight to Brian, because got a chance to play against him firsthand at Delaware, and he was a Ring of Fame honor player in Philadelphia. So he's a unique talent. The guy is explosive. He has the ability to kind of make stuff out of nothing, and that's, I think, the one thing you look at with these running backs. I mean, this guy can consistently make plays when there really is nothing there to be made. So again, throwing him now with Tyreek and Sammy and Travis and Damian Williams in the backfield, and McCall on the outside, we think it'll be really exciting.
Nate Taylor.
Hey, Brett, thanks for doing this. My question is, you talked with Clyde at the Combine. Just what did you feel like you learned about the person, as well as you were trying to get through the prospects of seeing what he did on tape throughout the course of his college career?
Yeah, we spent a lot of time with him there. Our scouts that went in there, Mike Bradway, Willie Davis, the coaches just rave about the kid. All business, loves the game, loves to work, loves to compete, picks up the game quickly, very high football IQ. He's going to come in right away and pick up this offense quickly. I always worry about with the complexities of our offense, about just how long it'll take guys, where the coaches feel comfortable. But everyone that you talk to at LSU, they rave about his football character and his football IQ, and then you throw in the talent that he has with that. We think he can come in right away and be a big factor in this offense.
Go ahead, Herbie.
Hey, Brett, how are you, man?
Hey, Herbie, how you doing?
Hey, I'm well, thanks.
Good.
You mentioned Andy Reid came back and said that he's better than Brian Westbrook. Well, how much input did he have with this pick outside of that comment that made you decide to take him?
Well, I mean, look, Coach and I, obviously, we've been working together a long time. So, he obviously he always has a chance to kind of review the tape and add his input. Super supportive of the process and how our guys go about their work. And he's always the first one to say, "You guys did all the work. I don't want to, I don't want to come in the last minute." But we do a good job of making sure that we watch so many guys and we stack the board, and it takes a ton of time. It takes a full year. But once you get into these pockets where these guys are so close, you're certainly going to have coaches watch, and we do that, once we get through the fall and we come to the Combine. I mean, we'll start with a big stack, and then our assistant coaches can kind of, shave a little fat off that, and then our coordinators, and then when it gets to coach, kind of just have him look at this thing toward the end here and put the final touches on it. But I mean, listen, the guy's the Hall of Fame coach, so I think you want to kind of hear what he says about players and what he thinks. But I knew that, again, knowing kind of how Coach works, and knowing that we were around Brian Westbrook for so long, just the uncanny similarities, I think, jumped out in my mind, and Coach kind of saw it the same way. But he was super excited when he got a chance to watch him, and that thought was shared throughout our entire personnel department.
Harold Kuntz.
Hey, Brett. Hope you're doing all right. Hey, I just want to ask you about as the draft progressed and you saw some cornerbacks being taken in the later rounds, what made you kind of decide at that point, I'm going to go with a running back instead of maybe another defensive player as it progressed?
Yeah, I mean, we just, it sounds cliche to say the best player available, but I mean, this guy, we view this guy as extraordinary running back and a rare talent for the things he can do. And we had a pocket of guys. Some were offensive linemen, some were corners, some were linebackers. And the way it worked out and where we picked and what was left, we just felt like he was the best player, and it made the most sense for us. Wasn't a lot of trade dialogue. We really didn't have any calls once Green Bay traded up. And again, as I mentioned earlier, we were happy with that because we certainly view this guy as a franchise type running back.
Danny Wilniak.
Hey, Brett. I want to look a little bit forward. What is the toughest part of going into tomorrow? You guys got the guy you want in the first round, but how difficult does it become then for the next couple of rounds tomorrow?
Yeah, well, I mean, that's certainly why you put in all the time, just to make sure that you have the numbers work out and have the stacks where you think they belong. Tomorrow we'll get up and we'll have another web chat with our scouts. And, we spent so much time really the last few weeks just really kind of narrowing down, all right, you have the logical selections everybody has in their mind. I think every team has 10 to 15 players that are consensus. These guys are going to go. Once you get into the 20s, you start to see a little bit of, team-specific scheme and what they need, that kind of thing. So I thought our personnel staff did a really good job. I think we had like 6 guys that, we said if we didn't move up or we didn't move back and we stayed there at 32, these kind of guys would be there. And then it was kind of like clockwork, right around 24, 25, these guys start all going off. And but we'll do the same process tomorrow now. It'll just be, eliminate the first round, eliminate all those players. We'll go back and we'll look at all the names on the board again, and we'll kind of stack these guys, and then we'll get to a point where we feel like, again, just like today, when we're at 231, if we don't move up or move back, we feel confident these will be the guys, and we'll kind of stack them in the order. And if we don't trade up, we're just going to go in that order.
Matt Derrick.
Hey, Brett. Thanks for your time as always.
Hey, Mike.
Just looking at what the other teams in the AFC West did, especially with the Chargers going and getting their quarterback and the Raiders and Broncos both going for receivers early. What's your kind of takeaway how the draft unfolded in the first round tonight? And how does, seeing them go after so much offense early, does that affect your draft plans at all later on?
I don't know if it really affects, our draft plan, because I think we stick to just wanting to work on our team and our roster. And I think, having obviously the opportunity to win a Super Bowl, I don't think we're competing against any one team. We're competing against all 31 teams. So we got to continue to identify weaknesses and find really good players that we know are going to come in and play right away. We want these guys to, we don't want that learning curve to be so steep. Clyde was a guy, high football IQ, high football character, dynamic playmaker, can step in right away and have him under contract for 5 years. So I think we just always internalize this process, and we just look for ways to make our team better. And we know that if we continue to make our roster better, then the wins will take care of themselves on Sunday.
Hey, guys, we probably have time for a few more because we got to get Claude as well. So we're going to go Todd Levo, Nate Taylor, and Adam. Go ahead, Todd.
Yeah, Brett, a little bit about what Matt was kind of asking there about the West. A lot of quarterback with the Chargers. They haven't drafted a quarterback in a long time, and a couple of speed wide receivers with the Raiders and the Broncos there early. Just what are your thoughts about what else happened in the division?
Yeah, I think teams certainly they got to score some points against us. I think even if you have a really good defense, it's hard to stop our offense. So I think that teams are certainly ready for track meet when they play the Chiefs. And, it's going to be an exciting time for our division. Certainly some great players were drafted by the Chargers and the Raiders and the Broncos. So our division is always tough and competitive. And I think the talent added to those teams will make this even more exciting for our fans.
Go ahead, Nate.
Yeah, Brett. I know you were heavily involved in the 2017 draft and obviously orchestrating the trade to get Patrick Mahomes. But as general manager of the Chiefs, this is your first pick in the first round. I just want to know what was the process like for you to have a first round pick? And you've mentioned before on several occasions the idea of getting Patrick another weapon on offense. Just how much did you feel like that was a priority that needed to be addressed sooner rather than later in the draft?
Well, I think our priority going into the draft was really just these, add talent, and certainly every team has philosophies, and that's no different with us. You're going to get a quarterback, and then you're going to build O-line, D-line, corners, and what have you. But I mean, never to lose sight in this process is at the end of the day, you're just collecting really good players. And, there's values placed on certain positions, and we do the same thing. But when you have a guy that you think is a Pro Bowl running back, that's a high value too. So, I think, listen, you get a chance to get a guy that's this talented, that can add so much to the offense. A young guy can run, can catch, can block, can return. It's hard to pass up those guys for the sake of extra picks or for a guy that you think is good. We think this guy could be great.
Okay, Adam, go ahead and close us out.
Brett, Edwards-Helaire, obviously not the biggest guy at 5'7", about 205 or so. Do you project him to ever be a kind of a regular featured back for you guys, much like, say, Kareem Hunt was for a while or Jamal Charles before him?
I think because of the type of offense, Adam, that we are, I do. I think if we were more traditional, two tight end set, power run game, certainly there would be some questions. But I think the way we can spread teams out and make them play east and west, and the threat of our vertical passing game, and then again, this kid's low center of gravity, his ability to make people miss. I think just the way that our offense is constructed, I think this guy will thrive, and I think he'll be able to handle a workload.
Okay, thanks for joining us, Brett.
Yeah, thank you, guys.
That was Chiefs General Manager Brett Veach. And now let's hear from the player, the Chiefs' first-round draft pick, number 32 overall, LSU running back, Clyde Edwards-Helaire.
Clyde, can you hear us okay?
Yes, sir. I can hear you.
Awesome. All right, we're going to
Yes, sir. I can hear you.
Awesome. We're going to open it up to questions here, and Pete Sweeney is going to be our first one up here. Go ahead, Pete.
Hey, Clyde, congratulations on getting drafted by the Chiefs.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much.
In your own estimation, of all the teams in the National Football League, you end up here. What do you think makes the Chiefs the best fit for what your game brings to the table?
Just how versatile the offense is, and they were big on being able to get the running back out in space, and I feel like that was where I absolutely thrived. And the Chiefs, they made a great call. The offense, the whole game plan, everything is a perfect fit for me. And ultimately, I just feel like, that's a perfect fit, and it's a great fit as far as me being a person and the team. I absolutely I was able to text Tyron and get in touch with Nicole and everybody. So far it's already been on the plus side.
Okay, Darren Smith, go ahead, Darren.
Hey, first of all, welcome to Kansas City. Can't wait to feed you some of this Gates barbecue when you get here. Big question for you. Obviously, you've come from a winning program, winning a national title. What's it mean to go from Joe Burrow now to Patrick Mahomes?
I mean, it's like a step. It's the next step. Being able to be with a guy who won, a Super Bowl and was an MVP and was currently the MVP, and being able to line up next to him is something I absolutely dreamed of. And ultimately hearing, the draft story and then him getting the final text and, just shoot me one name and then the only name he sent back was Clyde. It makes me feel wanted. It makes me feel like there's a plan, and we know once we execute that plan, we can be back-to-back Super Bowl champs.
All right, we'll go to Matt McMullen. Matt, can you hear us?
Yeah. Hey, congratulations, Clyde. Welcome to Kansas City.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you so much.
So growing up in Baton Rouge, I'm guessing you're a Tyrann Mathieu fan. What's it going to be like playing with the Honey Badger in Kansas City?
It's going to be pretty epic. Being younger than him, I've always watched him, but never got the opportunity to play with him. So this is I'm excited for it. I can't wait. I know he's going to show me some things that I've never seen as far as coverage, and now I can only get better from working with as far as what I see as the GOAT.
Herbie, go ahead.
Hey, Clyde, welcome to Kansas City. Before you went to LSU, there was a story out there that Auburn once told you that you were not SEC caliber running back. Do you remember that?
Yes, I think that was Bama. So we were actually going to Bama, but yeah, I remember that I was told that I wasn't SEC caliber.
All right, let's go to Adam Teicher.
Hey, Clyde, you broke up a little bit when you were talking earlier about why you feel like you're a fit in the Chiefs system. Can you sort of elaborate on that, why you feel like you're a good fit for what's going on offensively here?
So watching the Kansas City offense last year, they were big on getting the back out in space. Any check down, any way the back can get out and run a route, that's where, I absolutely did most of my damage as far as, being in a passing game. And that's what Kansas City is big on, and that's what the foundation is built on, being able to get the ball in space and spread the ball out. That makes defenses stress. So being able to be a running back and catch the ball out of the backfield and run routes, I feel like everything is a perfect mesh.
All right, guys, we got time for a couple more here. Let's go with Matt Derrick.
Hey, Clyde, welcome to Kansas City. There's been quite a few LSU running backs that have come through Kansas City the last few years, and I think you're pretty close to Darrell Williams. What kind of influence has Darrell had on you, and what is it about LSU that makes it such a great place for running backs that want to go to the NFL?
Growing up, I was coming in under Darrell in the LSU's running back room. So initially when I came in, Darrell kind of took me under his wing along with Darius Geis, but Darrell was the person that made me understand playbooks and everything more. I mean, I was a 17-year-old kid, just turned 17, and Darrell was trying to teach me all these things as far as a college offense. And ultimately I had to learn, 3 different offenses, but Darrell was always there, when I was learning the first time. So Darrell's a mentor for me. As soon as my name came across the screen, Darrell was the first person that, the first number that came across my screen. So ultimately, I mean, he's a big brother to me, and being a running back at LSU just means more than just saying it. We walk in with the legacy in the room, and then you leave with a greater legacy, and that's just the nature of it. Everybody comes in and compete, and that's the same way at Kansas City. So I can't wait to compete.
All right, Nate Taylor, why don't you close us out?
Hey, Clyde, congratulations again. I want to talk to you about being an option out of the backfield in terms of receiving. Just how did that develop over time? How much do you feel like that was of value, not only just to LSU, but obviously to this draft process and convincing the Chiefs that you were both capable as a runner and a receiver?
I think it started early on, me being a receiving back in high school. I was on the same team as Darius Geis in high school, and I couldn't, him being on the field his junior and senior year was a must in high school. So I had to find a way to get on the field. They wanted me to get on the field, and I started playing slot and wide receiver, and kind of hopped back and forth from slot, to the backfield, and then 2 back sets. So ultimately, it was just kind of something that was just part of my DNA. I was always able to catch. I was always able to run routes, and LSU took complete advantage of it. With my last year, being able to get me out in space and let me run routes, because that's always that was the thing that I did. That's how I ended up at LSU. But ultimately, we just needed the offense to help it, and we ended up with it. And now, I don't even have to worry about that. I'm going into an offense that's absolutely fitting for me.
Awesome. Well, thanks, Clyde, for joining us. We look forward to seeing you soon.
Yes, sir. Sounds good. Thank y'all so much.
That'll do it for another day and another week of SportsBeat KC, the Kansas City Star's daily sports podcast. Thanks to the production team of Derek Donovan, Savannah Smith, Randy Mason, Beth Welsh, Jeff Rosen, and Chris Fickett. We'll be back on Monday wrapping up the Chiefs draft weekend on SportsBeat KC, where we talk sports in Kansas City every day.